Hello, good morning and welcome to this edition of News Desk with me, Bernice Abubeidulansa. Coming up this hour, dysfunctional traffic lights in and around Accra and Tema creating lots of chaos and road rage at major intersections and junctions of these two cities this morning. We'll take you around some of them and understand the actual problem. And death toll in the northeast floods rises to 5 with the discovery of another body 1 week after torrential rains flooded and broke the banks of a major dam in that region. We've got details as well. And on our climate focus series today, we tell you about the growing efforts by agriculturists to encourage farmers to return to indigenous food production due to its environmentally friendly nature. We've got details of these and more, including business in this hour. Please stay with us. To you live from our studios here in Kokomlemle on DSTV channel 421, via the world on myjoyonline.com and on your digital television. The details now. In the heart of the busy capital, the silent danger has been steadily growing, casting a shadow over the safety of road users. The once reliable traffic lights have fallen into a state of disrepair, rendering them dysfunctional at many key intersections. Now, as the city's roads become a chaotic scene, sometimes vehicles navigating without proper guidance, concerns are mounting over the increasing risk of road traffic crashes. This critical issue not only disrupts the flow of urban life, but also threatens the lives and well-being of countless individuals who traverse these dangerous intersections each day. Samuel Imbura of our Drive Safe campaign team has been monitoring the situation. He comes to us from Ablekuma, where he was earlier today.
This is the traffic light for us, so that if we are crossing, we can be safe here. Normally, at times, you see the boys, they control at times, but the drivers didn't want to stop for them. So force, they will cross. So if this one, there is no police, it's difficult for us. So the authorities should see for us, so that everything will be okay for us. Thank you very much.
As a resident, Samuel Imbura will be bringing us more. He's been monitoring the situation in different parts of the capital. We just heard from somebody who has been following the situation at Ablekuma here in Accra. Now, you may be aware of this situation not only at Ablekuma, but in other parts of the capital and even in Tema. We will be going back to that story to hear from Samuel Imbura and some of the people he's been interacting with on how road traffic has been managed so far. Away from that, we'll bring you more on that much later. The death toll in the northeast region floods has risen to 5. One more person was found washed ashore close to the Nalerugu Dam. The body of the unidentified individual was retrieved and buried under the supervision of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, and the police. Meanwhile, efforts are continuing today. Regional authorities are trying to reach communities that have been cut off since last week by the floods. Regional Minister Yidana Zakaria, who is leading these efforts, said he's distraught by the level of destruction the floods caused. Correspondent Ilya Satanko reports from the East Mamprusi municipality.
Following recent flooding in the northeast region, the regional minister has commenced a special working visit across the region to assess the aftermath of the destruction unleashed by the floods. The flooding caused by torrential rains last Wednesday destroyed houses and farmlands and crops and washed away roads across the region. The flood was initially reported in the west and east Mamprese municipalities, where a lot of attention had been concentrated following the collapse of a dam as it washed away the Nalerugu Wale Road and grounded traffic on the road. The National Disaster Management Organization in the region had said it was unable to go into some of the flooded communities in other parts of the region to conduct assessments. Although the Disaster Management Organization have received relief items, it is yet to deliver them to the victims due to a lack of access as a result of damages to roads and bridges. However, as the flood waters have begun to recede, the regional minister is leading a tour of the affected areas to assess the state of destruction caused by the rain disaster. Starting from the East Mamprese municipality, Mr. Idana, in the company of the municipal chief executive, visited the Gbintri enclave. On his way, he inspected the Nalerugu Gbintri road, which was devastated by the flood. Dozens of farmers were seen rushing to salvage their crops taken over by the flood. The minister also made time to interact with some of them. At the Jimbale community located along the road, the flood destroyed almost all the houses and other properties in the community, leaving over 150 inhabitants displaced. These internally displaced residents, composed mainly of women and children, were relocated and accommodated in a primary school in the next village, Yankazia. The minister was there to express his empathy and assure them of government support. Speaking to Joy News, the displaced persons recount how they escaped the fury of the flood as it engulfed the community. What you see us wearing is all that is left. We had to carry our children on trees to escape the floods. My daughter had a new baby. Both of them were saved by the tree. We've lost everything. We've lost our houses, cooking utensils and everything. This is all that is left of my belongings and properties. The minister also paid a courtesy call to the chief of Gbintri to express his commiseration and inform him about the efforts of government to ameliorate the suffering of the people. The chief, on the impacts of the flood, said one person who was returning from his farm was found dead after he was swept by the floods. According to the chief, hundreds of farmlands have also been submerged and several other communities were still inaccessible. He expressed worry about the destruction of some key roads linking the community and called for them to be given immediate attention. From Gbintri, the minister was heading to the Yunyud Naswani district but had to cut short his visit as the Gbintri Naswani road was flooded following a bridge collapse. The minister, speaking to Joy News after the aborted trip, described the flooding situation as disturbing.
It's quite a disturbing situation. You recall that when we met the chief of the Gbintri community, the very first time that has come to my attention that we lost somebody as a result of the flooding. He was coming from the UN to Gbintri and lost his life. That is quite disturbing. Here in this community, Yakazia, the very first time again, because some buildings have collapsed, parents and their children have been moved to occupy a school building. And that is quite worrying because the school is meant for the education of the little ones. So if they have had to stay away from school for days, weeks and months, because the season is not going to end now. That will mean that their future would be jeopardized. It's the more reason why we have stayed longer in this community, trying to see if we can find an alternative place for the victims, the flood victims, to move in so that they can free space for the school to continue tomorrow. Again, as you observed, many farms have been washed away. This you saw. And I'm telling you, the dry season, there will be hunger. That is a worrying situation.
Mr. Idama appealed for calm and asked that residents who were still desperately trying to reach their farms to salvage their crops to disease to avoid any further disaster.
Dangerous thing to do. You can only go to try to salvage something when the tide has actually been reduced. But if you want to swim against the tide, just because you must salvage some of your farm produce, it will endanger their lives. So I would want to caution everybody that even in their attempt to try to salvage something, life is more precious, and so they should be very careful.
Ilyas Atanko with that report, and like I mentioned, we'll be going back to a story about dysfunctional traffic lights. My colleague Samuel Mbura is part of our Drive Safe team. He's been monitoring the situation in the capital, in Accra. He's currently at the airport area where there is a dysfunctional traffic light. In fact, Samuel, just narrate to us what you've been observing so far. I understand you witnessed a near crash. Tell us about it.
Yeah, just 5 minutes ago, Bernice, on the Liberation Road. This road leads to the prime areas in Accra. On my left here, you see that this intersection leads directly into the airport. Right behind me, just where this traffic light is, the dysfunctional traffic light is, 2 saloon cars, one blue in color, another red, had a crash because there is no traffic controlling the flow here. You have this police officer directing from both sides. So at the time the police officer asked them to stop, the one behind quickly, lost control and hit the car in front. And these are the cars I'm talking about, the cars in short. The blue car that was opened the bonnet or the boot was the car that was hit by the car in red there. So that is how chaotic the situation is. That's just an example or one of the instances of the chaos that we are witnessing at the traffic intersection here in Accra that are not working. We have visited not less than 5 traffic intersections, and I must say the situation is actually a sight to see because commuters are finding it very difficult. I saw school children struggling to cross the road because one, the pedestrian traffic light is either not working or the entire traffic light is not working. We don't have traffic wardens or police controlling the traffic. It was only the Avenue stretch that I saw an MTTD officer directing traffic there, and as well as the airport intersection. So on the whole, the places that we have visited so far is actually a chaotic scene to witness. We remember that at Ablekuma, Awoshi, the Barnyard area, the commuters had to publicly vent their anger because of the situation on the ground. This is actually a busy road. It's unfortunate that we are unable to talk to some of them, but they are really frustrated about the situation, and we'll definitely get to other areas to see how the situation. But let me just try and find out from this motor rider how he feels about the traffic. What do you make of the dead traffic here?
It's so bad, though. Very bad.
He said it's so bad. It's unfortunate they have to go, but you heard from him the situation is so bad. We don't have people crossing at the moment. If not, I would have engaged them. But you see right behind me a prime area, the entry point into the airport. The traffic is dead, not working at all. So meaning at night, if you don't have police officers stationed here, we are going to witness crashes on the road, just like we witnessed recently. And because there's no traffic, the speed is not regulated. You can see some of the cars driving at a top speed of over 50 kilometers per hour on this stretch, which ordinarily should not be the situation. It should be around 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. So, Bernice, it is not only these areas that I've mentioned, but the Madinda stretch, the Oponglo, and then other areas are also worse affected by the dysfunctional traffic light. We know that last year, the National Road Safety Authority directed that urban roads, which is supposed to supervise and maintain these traffic lights, to ensure that all these traffic intersections in the country are either replaced or they are working to go in accordance with the road safety regulations. But ever since that directive was given by the National Road Safety Authority, per our monitoring, nothing has really changed. And the calls are getting intense for authorities to act now, meaning if we don't have immediate intervention now, the situation is going to be chaotic, and then possibly the MTTD and then the National Road Safety Authority may not meet their targets on the road safety, on the lives of people and the number of crashes witnessed on our roads. Bernice.
I think that with what you've observed at the airport area and the police trying to make things work on some of our roads is something that has been commended by many. But tell us what you observed. Is there also a difficulty with people listening to and adhering to the instructions of these MTTD officers?
Yeah, it is actually a difficulty. Unlike the traffic light that will give you a signal ahead to slow down, that is not the situation, because you have an officer either wearing black uniform, police uniform, or white in the middle of the road now telling the drivers to stop. So imagine this car that is on top speed. The police officer tells the driver to stop or slow. Definitely there will be a chaos. And that is what we witnessed just some 10 minutes ago, where the police officer signaled them that they should stop. The first driver ahead obeyed and stopped, but the one behind probably didn't see the signal and had to crash the back, bumper of, the car that was ahead of it. So it's actually problematic, though there are efforts by the police to ensure that just look right in front of me, someone is doing a U-turn, the police will have to go and then arrest the person. Just right in front of me, you can see that they are trying to stop the driver. That is the situation on the ground. So this is one of the chaotic scenes that we are witnessing. There are several of them. So the police, they are doing their best, but if you don't have these regulations on the road, you can be rest assured that the people may not obey. So, Bernice, I must say the police, they are doing their best, but they may not be everywhere, or they cannot be everywhere at any time to ensure that traffic regulations are adhered.
Thank you, Samuel Mburatha, coming to us from the airport area, monitoring the traffic situation at major intersections here in Accra, which have dysfunctional traffic lights. Like he mentioned, the urban roads is the agency responsible to fix these lights. But we were told sometime this year that it is more expensive to maintain these lights than to get new ones. As to why we don't have them, we are yet to get a response on that. But away from that, experts believe producing indigenous food crops is more environmentally friendly than commercial agricultural practices, since it uses less water and fewer chemical fertilizers and pesticides. These ancient agricultural methods preserve soil biodiversity while nourishing the food that grows. Farmers, experts, and agriculturists all agree that the moment has come to return to indigenous ways of growing food, and that is rapidly becoming extinct. Joy News' Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin reports there's a growing effort to encourage farmers to embrace indigenous food cultivation.
In Toronto, or you go to the grocery shops, you see organic food. The prices are very high, and then the inorganic food are for the poor people, because you can't afford the organic food.
We see across the world is an emerging health and food and environmental crisis. We see the globalization of foods, which is coded language for the westernization of foods. Cheap food, industrial foods are taking over people's diets, they're taking over people's landscapes.
Because somebody is telling you to produce something different. When I was growing up, my grandmother was doing canton. Kara, that is wet corn, they will use, when they just harvest it, they will use it with this, no plastic, those, all these plastics they are having, they are using these cola nut leaves to wrap it. How come? Why are we here? Because it is about policy.
Indigenous food such as wasa-wasa, tubani, gabli, sunkwila, and even TZ from millet are now becoming extinct.
So TZ is beginning to be something that only poor people rather eat TZ, right? Poor people eat TZ. If you are rich, you eat fried rice and pizza.
They were once farmed and cooked in rural areas and marketed to a small but rising number of people who were aware of the nutritional and environmental benefits. This emerging sector potentially built long food chains, leaving the food system dependent on global food imports. As weather patterns change, this has resulted in greater food unavailability in some communities.
And then local drinks as well as foreign drinks and pastries and things. So this is poha. We tried it last night in our dinner.
A study conducted by Dr. Sarah Veselo, assistant professor at the University of Toronto, on the impact of globalizing local and urban food systems on food security, calls on local and national decision makers to promote and safeguard indigenous food systems and the biodiversity they protect.
Where I come from in Canada, our food system has been transformed in the name of profit and not to feed people. So the only people who can afford food that is nutritious, that is not toxic, that is culturally appropriate, are wealthier people. And all of the industrial foods in the West are considered cheap foods, like KFC is a poor man's food in Canada, for example. And even foods that come from my traditional background in Italy, like pizza, have become fast foods in Canada where I live and in America and other places. So we see that as globalization, importation of foods, but also as farmers shape their landscapes to cater to that diet, to cater to profit and not people and not the planet, not their environment. We see emergence of the loss of these traditional foods or foods that tend to be more nutritious, more diverse, more agrobiodiverse, which is good for the environment.
Dr. Veselo wants Ghanaians to hold on to their traditional foods.
And so I believe that you should hold on to these foods which are based on history, based on your place, that are satisfying to people, that are nutritious and diverse, and then also in line with the environmental context. Instead of trading your agrarian system and your dietary system for things that are foreign. So that's why I think you should hold on to them.
Professor Jasper Abimbia of UDS College of Communication and Media Studies is at the forefront of efforts to ensure that existing policy to improve access to indigenous food is implemented.
Because we are almost losing our food culture, because everywhere you go, people are interested in what? Maggi, cooking with Maggi. So you go to the village, if there's no Maggi, the woman is not going to cook. And I'm asking, what happens to Dawa Dawa? This kind of links to the dispossession of people's food cultures.
Sumani Ibrahim, Municipal Crop Officer of the Savilgu Department of Agric, says indigenous foods are essential because they can withstand challenges.
We were almost eating everything organic because there were no such synthetic chemicals that was applied to our food products. They were not using fertilizers. It was only the advent of maize cultivation into our systems, food systems, that called for the use of even fertilizers and some rice. We had millet, we had sorghum, we had bambara granules, we had bulbifera, we call it furgma in Dagbani, we had piha, and that is frafra potatoes. So many indigenous food substances which does not require the use of this kajan. That is adwa. It doesn't call for the use of chemicals, fertilizer, no insecticides, and all those have enumerated. It doesn't need any of such inputs to be applied. And those were what they were producing. We were producing and eating at that time. Because of that, they used not to fall sick so often like we do. We have all hospitals and then treatment centers full of sick people.
Mahama Al-Hassan Seidu, a farmer from Savilgo, feels the same way.
Empowering farmers, and nobody, those people who are causing the mess, they will never empower the farmers. I'm a farmer. My children now, they are graduates. I've told them that they should come and start speaking for farmers. That's the only way. Because all the foods you are talking about, who produces adwa? Is adwa not a valuable crop? Who is producing it? Everybody is trying to soybean. Because somebody is just telling them, go there, go there, go there. You understand it? I decided, I went to Andu, Cherpuni area. I tried to adopt a village to produce phonium. I piloted some at the animal farm, there are fields there, because the residue, animals will take it and system. It was successful. But who is going to promote? They are not interested. They are not interested. And these are all organic things because one, from the seed, organic production starts from seed. And these farmers, when even to bring the seed, they told me that for us, we don't sell the seed. They have values. They told me that we can't sell seed to you. The people of Andu in Cherpuni, they told me we can't sell the seed to you. We can, if you want, you can only exchange it, or you bring us a fowl. So you can see this, and they gave me the seed. I came, it did well.
Scientists recommend, among other things, revitalizing local food production system at the household level, developing laws to promote and support farmers, and promote agro-biodiversity and agroecological practices to improve livelihoods through food and nutrition security. A report by Mohamed Nuruddin.
Again, what is the food system? It's about production, availability, prices, vendors, regulation, personal domain. Now we're looking at the personal side, the individual.
And that was Mahmoud Nuruddin's report. This is News Desk with me, Bernice Abubeidulansa. To some other stories now. Effective September 30, cybersecurity service providers that fail to obtain a license from the Cybersecurity Authority risk getting sanctioned. The cybersecurity law requires the authority to license service providers protecting computer systems, networks, and digital information from cyber threats. This is to regulate their operations. Speaking at a media engagement in Accra, Director General of the Cybersecurity Authority, Dr. Albert Ntibwesiako, hinted that cybersecurity entities that fail to comply with the law will be prohibited from delivering services to public institutions. There's more.
In March 2023, the Cybersecurity Authority initiated the licensing of cybersecurity entities to ensure legal authorization for operation within the country. These cybersecurity entities specialize in safeguarding computer systems, networks, and digital information against cyber threats and attacks. In light of this, the CSA is collaborating with the Public Procurement Authority to enforce the licensing guidelines for cybersecurity entities, particularly for entities providing services to government institutions. The Director General of CSA, Dr. Albert Ntibwesiako, indicated that failure to secure licenses by September 30th will result in prohibition of service delivery to covered entities.
The CSA has afforded the cybersecurity service providers, establishment, and professionals a grace period until the end of September, 30th September 2023, within which to obtain a license or accreditation, following which public sector institutions will be required to engage the service providers, establishments, and professionals licensed and accredited by the CSA in compliance with the cybersecurity law. So please, just a bit of clarity. The process is still ongoing, but what I understand, and by the advice we received from our legal in-houses, by the end of September, that is starting 1st of October, any entity that offers cybersecurity services in Ghana without the license, at least either a provisional license to start with, that will be a breach of the law. And that is where we are seeking collaboration with the PPA to enforce. We still have the end of this month and the full month of September to comply.
He also emphasized that cyber security entities that fail to adhere to these guidelines will face sanctions.
If you don't have a license, you cannot. That's what the law says. You cannot operate the cyber security service. So if you operate, then it means you are breaking the law, and the law will have to take its own course. The sanctions means if, let's say, you've done some work illegally and earned some money, that money will be collected through the legal process by way of administrative penalties to you. But it does not end up there. Of course, this will certainly also be a criminal breach, isn't it, that you have broken the law, and there will be criminal sanctions, including potential jail term if you are taken through the legal process.
The CEO of the Public Procurement Authority, Frank Mante, indicated that this step will contribute to harmonizing procurement in the public sectors.
This will contribute to the overall objective of the Public Procurement Authority as found under Section 2 of the Public Procurement Act to harmonize the process of public procurement to ensure judicious and effective use of state resources and to ensure that public procurement is conducted in a fair, transparent, and non-discriminatory manner. The areas of collaboration, as indicated by my good brother, is to ensure that any procurement entity, that intends to procure any cyber security related services, to ensure that the suppliers or these tenders who are selected actually are certified. So to the extent that, Doctor mentioned applications being submitted to a PPA board, it doesn't end there. Applications that are submitted to a PPA board can either be for single source procurement under Section 40 of the Procurement Act or restricted tender under Section 38 and 34 of the Procurement Act.
This initiative aligns with Ghana's endeavors to enhance its ITU Global Cybersecurity Index ranking from 3rd to 1st in Africa. Esther Nkrumah's report read to you.
Going back to our monitoring of dysfunctional traffic lights in the capital, today we decide to go heavy on this issue because of its attendant effects. Samuel Imbura is now at the UPSA area where he spotted another dysfunctional traffic light. What can you report, Samuel? Hello, Samuel, if you can hear me, tell me what you can report and what you've observed around the UPSA area. Apologies there. It appears that Samuel is having a bit of a problem hearing me. Well, if you can hear me, Samuel, what have you observed so far?
So, Benis, right behind me, you can see that the traffic light is totally off at the UPSA traffic intersection. I'm told that this has been there for over a year now, and it is causing a serious chaos for drivers here. Let me just try and engage some of the drivers to hear from them how the situation has been for them for the past years. So, me pacho, that's say one year time I might say bekasa joy news. And Mohanom no how to say.
Well, Yahanom no a problem and so far because one way a main road from 37 to Medina going to Ebri and Dodowa. It's a main road, big highway. Now traffic light way first na a jumana a solar system. And a woman is so turn off now mama so turn off now mama and I feel the cables now a free solar panel no ebese yejuma e the power ma traffic light no. Cable no obi awa betucha akron 4 hour be wia wo form ho no mo enti abeda no almost more than 2 years ni traffic light we enya juma
enti traffic light na nya juma no aya na hanom te se mu hu accidents wa ha as a result
accident dey bebre almost every day in the daytime ni there accident ANC because police for ebe directed traffic Legon police for a higher omo point into omo directed traffic wa pa omo fa nyagro and a visibility for no so no e wa ha no mutem bia into omo directed traffic na mom no adiasa fiti anajo be 9 mu ho na eja nipa ye djuma na obre a okon home ade be chia obeba no na cars a crash wa ha ana moto 8 minute car a be crash wa ha no mo accident re hu bebre ana ya ba djuma entem tsa homachi 4 am no sata obeba na police for no embaye obeba na accident
na person pay for enyema mo sesia
well and penifo emra fix the traffic light, you know.
All right. So, Benis, to which what he's saying is that the situation is actually something that they are worried about. His claim earlier was that the traffic light used to be solar panel powered, but some thieves allegedly came and broke and then stole some of the wirings, rendering it dysfunctional. They have made several appeals to no avail. What they want now is authorities to move in because they have been witnessing accidents here. There are police officers here to control traffic, ensuring that there is a traffic flow, but they are not here at all times, like the driver said. As early as 4 a.m., the police are not here, and because it is a major highway, we know that this the road that leads to Eburi and its environs, and it's actually one of the critical highways in Accra here. But I have one of the drivers here, Elikem, to also hear from him what he makes of the situation. Elikem, me pacho, who how pay the idea no person pay for a traffic light no.
Yeah, how almost the traffic lights na my now another thing is police for no mobile boy and direct traffic no always it's like some of the motorists they always threatening them. Omudina won cry na omuchaka na call so to say the person the bomb na it's kind of worrying. To say the way I'm brand din kind accidents so I had very glorious, like a very dangerous. Say traffic light ni nyejuma na police running so ya some that na drivers no more try person mo de car bomb na say for ayehu and drain you make me wa ha say motor rider bi police for stopping no or ye hu so wonjina police ni back we so crossing and the motor no bono and omu ye we and later no omu chase sa enkofo na kwache omu enti no say I think there's a traffic light no mutimi ebe siesie man ya ebe boa ya ye wa ha no so because yen so ye wa ha no our life is at threat at times because there was a time car free road no so eba climbing ade we eba ye ho no mo side say unim ebia wo ho ya de na wada ni wetina ka bibisa si a also ebetimi affecting I think say omo be siesie traffic light and be boa pa.
So that's what Elikem is saying. It is very, very important for authorities to move in now because their lives are at risk. Taking into consideration that, look, we have students from UPSA, students from the University of Ghana. The building on my right is the University of Ghana Business School. So it tells us how critical this road is because of the people who commute on it. So it is actually more than less a T-junction. So right on my left, these are the incoming vehicles going into Medina. And those coming from my right are getting into Legon, coming into the airport areas and all the critical or the prime areas in Accra. So if you look right on my right here, this is a road leading to UPSA and other prime areas in Accra. So it's a very critical road, a dual carriage road, of course, and we should know that a road that is, has so many cars using it at a particular time would need serious attention for the safety of the pedestrians here. So, Benis, as we tour around, I'm still seeing how commuters are exposed to dangers on our road, and it is not an issue that we should be playing around with. It means that authorities will have to move in swiftly to avert any disastrous situation on our road. I must say it is really heartbreaking, Benis, to see.
Right, Samuel Mbura there telling us the situation at the UPSA traffic light, and those are some interesting comments by drivers, especially on how some motorists charge at MTTD officers, sometimes threatening their lives in the process. Like Samuel says, this is one that needs or requires urgent attention. We've tried to reach out to those responsible. We haven't received any favorable response yet. Hopefully we will do so. And then once we get the information, we'll let you in on what we've been told. Now, health authorities in the Bono East region have bemoaned difficulties health professionals, particularly doctors, face in securing accommodation in the area. Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Fred Adomako Boating, who was speaking at the 2023 mid-year performance review held in Kintampo, said the situation is adversely affecting the region's equity index. He wants local authorities to intervene to address the situation, and Asabit has more.
This year's mid-year performance review meeting of the Ghana Health Services here in the Bono East region was held under the theme building structures for quality essential service delivery, preparedness and response for emerging and re-emerging diseases, the role of community and strategic partnership. Regional Director of Health Services Dr. Fred Admakobuatin bemoaned the need for stakeholders to help address the accommodation challenges for health professionals in some parts of the region, a situation he says is worsening the region's equity index.
For the first time in Buni East, we were able to get more than 10 doctors. There were 16 doctors for 2022. But though we have a lot of doctors coming to the region, we are still battling with equity issues. Honorable Chair, because there are some places that you had wanted to put the doctors there to go and work, but lo and behold, they are faced with accommodation challenges. And this year when we met at the Nurses Forum, to the extent that when nurses are being posted to some districts and communities, that is the very time that the tenants or the landladies and landlords will increase their rent. How can we do this together?
He was also quick to appeal for support from stakeholders for strategic partnership capable of helping revamp the region's new medical stores, which is currently battling with the unavailability of some essential drugs.
Nanache, we are going to build on what? Existing structures. The medical store is complete, but it's empty. Nana, all the traditional regional medical stores that were started were given seed money, revolving fund. All of them. Because you cannot give seed money. If you cannot give a revolving fund, then you cannot really operate the medical stores. We are standing on these premises and asking the regional minister, traditional authority, Ministry of Health, that there is a need for us to refurbish and stock the regional medical stores. All that we are asking is about something like 2 million Ghana cedis, and we'll be able to do that.
Bono East Regional Minister Kwesi Edujan, on his part, reiterated government's commitments towards providing the needed support to the health sector, adding that the region has had its fair share of the government's Agenda 111 project.
The region has had its share of the many government programs, such as the Agenda 111, which is ongoing. We had about 4 of them, right? One is at Pran, one is at Trubodom, one is at Kajiji, and then there's the 4th one is at Businya. They are all doing very well. We are progressing very well on this. These hospitals are at various levels of construction.
He again assured that the Regional Coordinating Council will continue to lobby for resources as well as support the Regional Health Directorate to help improve the general health care needs of the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, the government will continue to provide resources for the Regional Health Directorate to improve upon health care delivery in the region. I encourage all relevant stakeholders in the health sector to collaborate effectively for a robust and efficient health services on the back of sound structures to have a strong health system to improve the health needs of our people in the region.
Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Kintampo.
You're watching News Desk with me, Bernice Abubedu-Lansa. When Darrell Powell joins you shortly with business, he'll be telling you about the United Nations Food and Agri Organization reiterating its commitment to strengthening partnerships with Ghana. Do stay for details.
Hello, my name is Abeku Agri Santana. If there's anything that makes my life so easy, it is my bank. I love hanging out with my boys at our usual fufu joint. But even without cash, we still dey chop better with EcoBank Mobile. No matter the time of day, my bank helps me stay in touch with my beautiful wife whenever she's away. And when my beautiful wife is in town, she never misses out on her favorite TV shows because I'm able to pay up all my TV subscriptions from the comfort of my mobile phone. Whenever she has to get groceries too, my bank makes it cashless and convenient. And the part my wife loves the most is when my bank makes it possible and easy for her to shop from any part of the world without moving.
Welcome to the smart world of EcoBank. Download EcoBank Mobile from Google Play Store or the App Store and discover the smart way to bank. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
We've had news file over the weekend, and an interesting part of the conversation focused.
Oh no, we are out of range.
Oh, don't worry, Daddy. I have Alexa in my bag.
Alex, what?
Alexa, open Multimedia Ghana and play Joy FM.
Super Hits Radio, Joy 99.7.
Listen to Joy FM, Hits FM, Love FM, live on your Amazon Echo. Listen to your favorite multimedia radio stations live on your Amazon Echo device by saying, Alexa, open Multimedia Ghana, play Joy FM or Hits FM or Love FM. Or catch up on your favorite podcast by saying, Alexa, play, and then the name of your favorite podcast from Multimedia Ghana. For a list of all podcasts available, say Alexa. Ask Multimedia Ghana to browse programs.
And we are back like we never lost signal.
Alexa, welcome to Multimedia.
For crystal clear and thrilling podcasts and live shows, download and listen to us on Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, MyJoy Online, Amazon services like Echo, Amazon Music, and Audible, Stitcher, Adom Online, Overcast, and Pandora. Take note of everything. Sign up for the multimedia digital platforms now to stay updated.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization has reiterated its commitment to strengthening partnership with Ghana to promote agriculture, entrepreneurship, gender inclusion, amongst others. Speaking at a donation event of books to the University of Ghana and the University for Development Studies, Deputy Regional Representative Yasmi Yerdi said, providing the youth with basic necessities in the agri sector will help create interest and save a sector grappling with the older generation.
The Food and Agriculture Organization has donated about 8,000 publications to students pursuing agriculture and related courses at the University of Ghana and the University for Development Studies. Deputy Regional Representative for FAO, Yasmi Yerdi, explained the importance of equipping the youth in transforming the agri sector.
These publications serve as a testament to FAO's commitment to fostering learning, knowledge sharing, and collaboration across the African continent. These academic resources span wide spectrums. As you go and dive into this publication, you will find publications about agricultures, agribusiness, climate change, gender, biodiversities, entrepreneurship, and many more. Within these pages lie the potential to empower students and researchers to ignite innovation and progress, to strengthen partnership in the very areas where FAO operates.
The Dean of the School of Agriculture at the University of Ghana, Dr. Irene Ejiri, lauded the FAO for the support and disclosed the initiatives her outfit is undertaking to prepare graduates for the job market.
So we brought students of agriculture engineering, agricultural sciences like soil science, crop science, agricultural economics, agricultural extension, family and consumer sciences. Agriculture is broad. We brought all these students together with their faculty and heads of department in the School of Agriculture, where I'm the dean, and they did the donation and also exposed us to what they do. We fortunately, in the School of Agriculture, everybody studies entrepreneurship. But in the last 5 years, we have come to understand that entrepreneurship is just organizing. And so our main curriculum has entrepreneurship as a study, and we now have co-curricular activities that allows the students to start ideating and starting up. So we have a number of student startups that we are encouraging. And so when you come to the University of Ghana, we have what we call maker spaces. The university has a big land, over 200 hectares. You can go there and decide to be a farm business innovator entrepreneur.
Now, Executive Director of Springboard Roadshow Foundation, Comfort Okwan, is calling for more support for young people to develop new skills and gain valuable insights in industries. According to her, this is necessary to aid in bridging the gap between academia and industry. She spoke to Joy Business at the opening ceremony of the 2023 Teenpreneurship, a mentoring, career guidance and personal development bootcamp for teenagers.
Teenpreneurship aims to empower and equip teenagers with essential skills and knowledge in coding, robotics, technology, fashion and agribusiness. Comfort Okran maintained that these young ones should be supported through interactive sessions, workshops and hand-on activities.
So they come out and they are able to look for people who they can also bring up. So it's not just me getting, but it's a cooperative world that we create. This program, the Ghana Grows program, is a program that we are inspiring or encouraging young people to find opportunities in ATVET and agric, the entire value chain. So if we have the robotics people here, it's because we want to show them that yes, you can look at how you can incorporate robotics in your farm work.
Some of the students shared their experience with Joy Business.
I like the ability to express yourself through designs and through many different artworks and other stuff. I also like the ability to make other people feel better about themselves through what you design and what you show.
Personalized branding, how to come out and stand out among people. They thought that when we come out bold, we'll be able to personalize ourselves and then come out special.
Teenpreneurship has been in existence for over 10 years and seek to cushion young ones in their quest to achieve excellence.
And that's all for business for now. The news continues after the break.
We've had news file over the weekend, and an interesting part of the conversation focused.
Oh no, we are out of range.
Oh, don't worry, Daddy. I have Alexa in my bag.
Alex, what?
Alexa, open Multimedia Ghana and play Joy FM.
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
Listen to Joy FM, Hits FM, Love FM, live on your Amazon Echo. Listen to your favorite multimedia radio stations live on your Amazon Echo device by saying, Alexa, open Multimedia Ghana, play Joy FM or Hits FM or Love FM. Or catch up on your favorite podcast by saying, Alexa, play, and then the name of your favorite podcast from Multimedia Ghana. For a list of all podcasts available, say Alexa. Ask Multimedia Ghana to browse programs.
And we are back like we never lost signal.
Alexa, welcome to Multimedia.
And before I go, I have some exciting news. It's official. Joy FM, Joy Prime, and other multimedia group platforms are media partners for the biggest street carnival in Ghana. Chalewote Festival, organizers of the event, have signed an MOU with Multimedia Group Limited to push this unique Ghanaian and African culture-centered festival, and is done through art, music, food, dance, and a lot more. Joy Prime's Joanne Nyame has more.
Festival of sights and scenes. Chalewote Street Festival draws thousands of revelers to Accra to witness rich African heritage through art, music, food, dance, dress, you name it. This year, the organizers of the Chalewote Festival have partnered with Joy Prime, Joy News, Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM to promote the development of an independent creative arts economy while achieving the mission to sell and promote Ghana.
At Multimedia Group, we are very excited about this, knowing that we are able to even promote this program, this event. And I believe it's not just going to be an event, but a series of them. It's something that we are going to back with all our platforms and ensure that it becomes a big success.
A member of the organizing team, Annie Osabote, is confident of the Multimedia Group's ability to use its platform to influence the appreciation of Ghanaian art.
I believe that this partnership is going to further enhance that, give us also the leverage to be able to see how we'll continue to channel good content, amazing works, and also to influence and impact the community itself.
Over the years, Jamestown has hosted the festival. Just as its name suggests, Chalewote is flip-flopping to a new location this year. Co-founder of the festival, Manche Ayikwe, gives details.
We have relocated to Osu from the Independence Square all the way into the Osu Township. So we are talking about the Agric Extension building, where the High Court complex is, all the way down into the Independence Square, into the Osu Castle, into the Osu community, all the way down to Oxford Street, and all up to the Osu Cemetery traffic lights coming towards Accra Sports Stadium and routing it back into Independence Square.
And promises to be an experience worth being part of. So, Charlie, come along. Let's go make unforgettable memories at Osu from August 21 to 27, 2023. Joanne Nyame's report, read to you.
This is the station to stay glued to. We will bring you exciting content, as always, when it comes to the Chalewote Festival. And that's how we wrap up this edition of News Desk. I am grateful that you made time this morning to join me. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Thanks for your company once again. Do stay with us. We are your most credible news source at 12.